Good morning, big cats and patriots out there. Big H in the house. Look, DC's going to go for it, right? They're passing a bill, trying to pass a bill to let non-citizens vote. Now, I have nothing against anybody outside the country, but when it comes to my backyard and it comes to the vote, you know, the federal government, Congress, they can do anything they want behind the scenes that we can't see. But the one thing we can do is vote, and I am so passionate about our voting. Now, when it comes to the news, they're certainly not going to do anything to help out here other than a few media outlets. But they're going to try to push this because if elections have no integrity right now, how else do you think there's a tool to help get some votes? Now, I want to go over to just so you can see, over on my area, we got the big cat fighting for election transparency. So there's my Twitter, pardon me. There's my Twitter, the big cat. Come join our family. Leah and Dave are protecting our rooms. We got other people in there that are just complete patriots. They're amazing people. You can see right here, I was at 44 something, and now I'm at 40. So ever since Elon Musk must have made his last couple of this, that, and the other things, all of a sudden I'm down 4,000. You know what? I've been down 15,000 before and canceled. So, anywho, here's the just so you know, federal law bans non-citizens voting in federal elections, whether they can vote in. Latest tweet by PolitiFact. All right, so we all know that federally, you know, considering the president, they're not going to be allowed to do it. Where I have a problem is the system of fixing the problem. The problem should be you cannot vote unless you're a citizen. What other sentence do I have to say? I can't say anything else other than if you're not a citizen, you cannot vote. And of course, they're just shipping people over the border, which, you know, I have nothing against an illegal, non-documented person. That doesn't mean they're bad. But I have a problem with America being hoodwinked, to put it nicely, and I don't like that. So let's see what we got here. Here's our first video. Again, I use these videos just for, you know, investigation, teaching. You know, follow the link if you would like and do your own research. But all of this is just so other people get a chance and an opportunity to hear.
A U.S. citizen to be able to vote in this country.
But hundreds of non-citizens were registered to vote in Illinois. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The Secretary of State's office admitted it made a mistake and allowed hundreds of non-U.S. citizens onto the voter rolls. The State Board of Elections is working to track down the individual voters and notify them and the local authorities. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live at the Capitol tonight. And Mark, the Illinois primary is less than 2 months away.
And Jennifer, if this applies to you, you may have received a letter in the...
Now you see, this is, do you see what they're doing? They're trying to affect outcomes. They're not helping America. They're just affecting outcomes.
Mail, a non-citizen, if you were registered to vote, that warns you do not do so. To vote would be a deportable offense, a felony that is strictly against the law. Even though Illinois is a welcoming state, state law tells non-citizens you can come here, you can move around, you can shop, you can get a job. In fact, local law enforcement won't even tell the feds you're here, and in some cases will help your children get assistance with health insurance. But when it comes to voting, that's a strict violation. You have to be a U.S. citizen. Today, a spokesman for the State Board of, or for the Secretary of for the State Board of Elections, rather, tells me, quote, "We do know that some of those 574 people voted in 2018, so potential repercussions still yet to come."
All right, so what if they're giving you a number of in the mid 500s? Do you think that's the real number? I don't know. I think it could be, with what we've seen come over the border. Wait till you see what happens this November.
Now, these were not undocumented people. That's an important distinction. They were not here in the country illegally. Many of them may have had a green card or a visa. But when they went to sign up for a driver's license at a Secretary of State's location, the new automatic voter registration system in Illinois signed them up to vote.
Is that not a trick? Let me see what this one says here. Is that not a trick? I mean, that's not me or you getting even a say in it. That's our local and state governments making sure people are signed up to vote. And then what? You got to, like you saw with the last election, that they had evidence, they had red flags, but the courts just wouldn't recognize it. So here, and I have a story I could tell you. I work the polls. I know something that's ugly, and I'm not going to say it here. Maybe if someday I have a private place to say it, I will. But it was the big CHEATING, and it made me sick to my stomach. So let's roll this.
Today, D.C. Council voted 12-1 in favor of a bill that would let non-citizens vote in D.C. elections. It's the first of 2 votes. According to the City Council, if it's approved, D.C. would join the ranks of 11 Maryland municipalities that also let non-citizens vote in local elections. So let's verify.
How can you not be upset with that if you're a patriot? How can you not? It's the only thing that tells the truth of our community. And they're playing with it, pulling strings. It breaks my heart.
What the D.C. legislation would and wouldn't do. We looked at the bill, this report from the Committee on the Judiciary and Public Safety, and spoke with Councilmember Charles Allen, who leads the committee and is a bill sponsor.
We are the folks who have taxation without representation, so we feel a certain way about representation.
The bill would allow all non-citizens
taxation without representation. I don't know what folks he is, but we left in the 1700s with the mantra of no taxation without representation. So that was one of the reasons we decided to have America. So now that people are infiltrating America, become a citizen, and then you have representation. Don't come in here, use up all of our assets, and not become a citizen, but still want to be able to vote. That's completely wrong. It's a bad system. It needs to be broken.
The opportunity to vote in local races for D.C. mayor, chairman, or member of the council.
Vote here, and then I guess in Asian, Chinese, whatever that is, that means vote here too. Okay. All right.
Attorney General, Board of Education, ANC, and any initiative, referendum recall, or charter referendum. Just like citizens, non-citizens would have to be 17 and 18 by the time of the general election, live in D.C. for at least 30 days before the election, and not claim voting residence or right to vote in any other state or territory. Now, as for what it does not do, it doesn't allow non-citizens to vote in federal elections.
So I get that, but there should be, if you're not a citizen, you shouldn't be able to do your vote. I'm all up for new ideas, so I don't have all the solutions, but I do believe that the golden rule for our country should be you are a valid citizen, you were born here, or you came in and you did whatever you had to do to get the red tape fixed or unpeeled or cut, and you become a true USA citizen. How else can you define that? Now, up here, or over here, I should say, check this out. Let me back it up.
But hundreds of non-citizens were registered to vote in Illinois. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The Secretary of State's office admitted it made a mistake.
And allowed
hundreds of non-U.S. citizens onto the voter rolls. The State Board of Elections is working to track down the individual voters and notify them and the local authorities.
What do? You track them down and say, hey, we're going to take your vote back? They ain't going to take the vote back. What are you going to do when all you have to do is make sure they become a citizen? That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. And like I said, over here on Twitter, You know, I always shout out Dave and Leah. You'll know who they are